It's final time at Teesside Autodrome. Sebastian Corking may have won the battles, but can he win the war? The first Micromax UK Championship final of 2021. He's there in pole position alongside Rory Armstrong, and it will be very interesting to see if Armstrong can finally get one over on him in this final. Oliver Sibbald third from Zane Quaker, then Logan Lauder and Braden Boyd. Riley Buckton-Young and Aston Brown are alone on rows 4 and 5, as after their damage from the final heat, Charlotte Stanley and Caden Simpson sadly unable to take the start, so they will have to return in round 2. This is fascinating stuff. Sebastian Corking has an opportunity to make a clean sweep of the weekend here. 3 heat wins. Can he turn it into a final? The man who's going to try to stop him off the line is Rory Armstrong. Ready? Let's race at Teesside Autodrome. It's a great start for Rory Armstrong. He actually gets a better run, but the inside line is Sebastian Corking's. He's not going to relinquish that, and he holds his nerve, and that's a run wide from Armstrong. Sibbald into second.
Yeah, that's poor from Armstrong. He's run wide. Looks like maybe got out on some marbles. He's allowed Sibbald up the inside, and he did not want that to happen because he can't afford to allow Corking to get away. Now he needs to get past Sibbald, needs to get past him quickly. We're on board with Riley Buckton-Young with the 360 camera. That's Braden Boyd out front.
Oh, goodness me. He almost went straight into the rear fairing there. He had to get off the throttle and drift out wide. Hopefully he's not going to lose a position as a result of that. But Rory Armstrong, absolutely right, just getting wide on the marbles, and that's such a game changer for this final because he had the better start. He had it right. He nailed the start off the line in front of Sebastian Corking and just couldn't hold it round the outside line. So now Sibbald is there, and look, Sibbald is creating a big gap between Armstrong in third position and Corking in the lead. This is not what Armstrong wanted at all.
No, Armstrong wanted, well, he wanted to get that start round the outside and bag himself the lead, and then if anything, if Corking went by, can have a look at him, try and hang on to him from behind. 12 laps this final compared to the 10 laps earlier, so I expect some of these drivers, Armstrong amongst them, may have dropped a pound or two out of the tyre pressures to last the extra few laps, possibly, so his kart may come to him by the middle of the race. When it does, it will probably stay on if that's the case. So Corking out front from Sibbald, Armstrong, Zane Quaker still there from Lauder, Boyd, Buckton-Young, and then Aston Brown rounding out the field. And we lost the 2 from the earlier heat, of course. Charlotte Stanley and Caden Simpson not taking part. Corking sets the fastest lap once more.
Boyd versus Lauder looks like it could get quite tasty as Braden Boyd is hustling Logan Lauder in this position. Lauder going very deep into the right-hander there, gets back on the throttle, back on the power, and then up to the IndyCar-style banking, almost part of an oval, if you like, on this flying right-hander. One of my favourite bends in British karting, just so much speed and travel. He had some amazing overtakes there in the British 24 Hours the last time I was there 5 years ago, and it really does showcase it well in this Micromax UK field as drivers really putting pressure on their opponents. A little twitch there from Logan Lauder as he tries to slam across and keep Braden Boyd at bay. And Rory Armstrong, he's getting frustrated, isn't he?
You can see it, can't you? You can see he's frustrated. He sees Corking disappear and he thinks this isn't what I wanted, but hey, you know what? He's come all the way from Northern Ireland with a late registration and entry. And what a great decision it's been so far. All you kids there at Our Lady and St Patrick's School in Downpatrick, Northern Ireland, you can cheer your boy on because he's through to second.
That is such a lovely lunge on the inside line as well. You really need to be brave because this is full speed, full chat. Sibbald knows he's there. He's trying to squeeze him to the inside line and back him off, but Armstrong's like, no way, I have this. I've got the speed, I've got the nerve, and I'm having you, mate. This is absolutely brilliant. Great conviction from Armstrong. That is a tough move to pull off.
Yeah, that's a great move. Mrs. Watson, Mrs. Prenter, are you watching?
I'm sure half of Ireland is probably watching by now. Word gets around there about great racing drivers like wildfire. It wouldn't surprise me if Mr. Raymond might be onto this one. Another very big talent there for my good friend Raymond to get into that one. It's going to be an interesting one to see how things go for young Rory Armstrong. Certainly a bolt out of the blocks. Be fascinating to see how far he can go. This is not bad for a debut.
Great battle this, Jake, for second place, second, third and fourth. And we've got another great battle for fifth, sixth and seventh, and Braden Boyd putting Logan Lauder under real pressure. And I have to say, I said it before, I'll say it again, this is the best I've seen Braden Boyd drive, Jake. I've seen a lot of him at Houghton Park, and I love to see the kids progressing, and this is a huge progression this weekend for Braden Boyd. And there he is on the 88, putting Lauder under real pressure. We saw those 2 overtakes earlier on. And that's the sort of thing that gives the driver confidence and shows them that, you know what, I can compete. And Riley Buckton-Young as well, for somebody so young, he's done a fair bit in the Bambino class, but he's fairly new to Micromax, so he's still getting used to the kart. And this is a good performance by him as well. He's keeping the guys in front, Lauder and Boyd, honest.
Yeah, they really do churn out some great karters from Ireland, and you can see Rory Armstrong starting to stretch away from Sibbald and Quaker, who are basically now left to fight for the third place on the podium. Rory Armstrong, this is such a hard track to nail the first time you get here as well. This is a really good performance, and I'm sure that the likes of Ramy and Charlie Eastwood and the rest of the Irish karting fraternity are going to look at this boy as a brilliant bet for the future. Great to see him doing such a good job. Now here is Logan Lauder still duelling with Braden Boyd and Riley Buckton-Young. They are not ceasing, and Armstrong just checking over his shoulder, and he's done exactly what he needs to do. Now Sibbald is desperately trying to get back on terms with him. This is a good fight back from Oliver Sibbald. A lot of drivers would have let that overtake go to their heads, but he's keeping it very strong, very honest. He knows he's got pressure from Quaker behind, but look, he is still sizing up a move or two on Rory Armstrong, and there's still a fair way to go in this race. 5 laps to go when Corking comes across the line, so this is not going to be easy to sustain and hold on to for Rory Armstrong by any stretch of the imagination. Look how hard Oliver Sibbald's trying. The back end stepped out big time as he went through that long sweeping right-hander, and Quaker is now right there to go for the move.
Fastest lap again set by Sebastian Corking. He's been consistent all day. That's the battle again for 5th place. I'll be trying to get involved as well. That's Aston Brown on the 57. He doesn't really have any mates to play with at the moment, but this is the battle for 3rd, and this is what Armstrong looks like he's pulled a good 10 kart lengths on this lap, and he needs Quaker to stick his nose up the inside of Sibbald and just halt Sibbald's pretensions for that 2nd place, to prevent Sibbald thinking about moving forward and think more about defending 3rd.
Well, depending on how much grunt Quaker's still got in that car, he may decide to just sit behind as Boyd has a little bit of a look at Lauder, returning to these guys in the nick of time, just as I was going to make the point. Quaker might decide not to go for the move on Sibbald. He might just decide to line up behind him, edge him closer and closer towards Armstrong, because you never know, there might still be a little bit of grunt in that kart for Quaker. And if those two start to get into the battle on the last lap, as Boyd tank slaps it, and that's enough for Riley Buckton-Young on pure momentum to go round the outside and storm up. It's so easy to get loose here because it is a very tricky circuit for grip. You've got to really have the confidence nailed at every corner, on every lap, at every break. So it's very, very easy to get the back end sliding sideways, and Braden Boyd will have to recover.
Quarter of the race to go, just about 3 laps to go. That's Lauder on the 33. In behind Lauder is Riley Buckton-Young now, with Boyd now having to come back from behind him. Can he recover?
I think Quaker's got to go for broke now. He has to really accept the fact that being behind Sibbald, he doesn't quite have the efficiency in the kart underneath his right foot to push further forward to get up to Armstrong. So 3rd is what he's gunning for. He can really read the situation nicely here though for Sibbald. He's got good enough pace in the bends, but on the straights, when you're getting up to the top end, that's where this is a little bit lacking. And I think that's to do with the machinery. That's not to do with Zane Quaker at all, because we know that he's got nerves of steel in that kart. He will always push for the maximum. Last lap is out, so this is going to be an interesting one to see if Quaker can overhaul Sibbald. Look, you can see in the bends, he is absolutely eating up the road.
Trophies for the top 3 in the under 10s, which is everybody apart from 2 drivers, by the way. So Zane Quaker knows there's only 3 trophies. You've got to be on the podium if you want a trophy, and they're really nice bespoke trophies as well this weekend. So he'll want one of those, but is he going to get one?
He needs to go right round the outside and hang it out there in the hope that he can slingshot past Sibbald. He's going to have a look. He needs to be brave. That was a little too early. He needed to carry the speed. He gets up alongside. Can he make the switch on the inside? No, well held by Sibbald. There's not going to be enough time. Corking makes it an absolute clean sweep. Armstrong in 2nd place. Sibbald just hangs on in front of Quaker. He needed one more lap really to make that one count, and it's been absolutely rip-roaring stuff from the guys up in the top 4. Not a bad run at all for the 33 of Logan Lauder to hang on there in front of Riley Buckton-Young and of course Braden Boyd. Aston Brown will be the last one in. Sad that we didn't get to see Caden Simpson and Charlotte Stanley in the final, but hopefully they'll be back for round 2. It's victory in every race today for Sebastian Corking ahead of Rory Armstrong and Oliver Sibbald, with Zane Quaker, Logan Lauder, Riley Buckton-Young and Braden Boyd giving chase ahead of Aston Brown. Let's catch up with our top 3 men on the podium.
I had a good start, got into second, and then halfway through I lost second and got to third, and then at the end I kept third, and it was good.
I went out for practice for the first time on Friday. It's a new track to me, and it went quicker and quicker through every session of the day. In the final, I got round the outside, but Oliver went up the inside of me, and I was behind him. So going down the main straight a few laps later, I got by him.
All heats and the final, it's pretty dominant. Just talk us through the weekend, you enjoyed it?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Practice was pretty good. I got some new tyres for the practice today and I scrubbed them in very well. I was taking them gentle for the first 4 laps and then trying to go for race speed.
Okay, and who do you want to thank for your win today?
I would like to thank the whole entire Hunter Motorsport for helping me be able to do this.
Okay, well done. Congratulations to Seb Corking, 3 heats and a final win. That'll give you a 15-point championship lead over the man in second place. That's Rory Armstrong. Oliver Sibbald just 10 further back in third from Zane Quaker and Logan Lauder rounding out the top 5. Coming next, we're at Wombwell near Barnsley. It's on May the 9th. If you live close by, come join us.